Welcome to Right Fit Leader, a podcast from Alec, Broadfoot, and the Hire with Confidence team at VisionSpark. This is where visionaries, entrepreneurs, and leaders learn how to hire leaders, lead better, and build teams that last. Through expert insights, real client stories, and conversations with top leaders, you will hear how we find A players for your business. This is Right Fit Leader.
So we have Jennifer Young here with us today, and Jennifer is one of our very own VisionSpark key employees that we have. And Jennifer is a trusted guide for visionaries seeking the right leaders to drive growth and freedom in their businesses. With discernment, energy, and people-first approach, she helps organizations hire leaders who align with culture, core values, and long-term vision. At VisionSpark, Jennifer thrives on building trust and inspiring visionaries to find leaders who truly get it, want it, and have the capacity to fill the needed leadership role. Welcome, Jen.
Thanks, Alec. Nice
Yeah,
to be
so when you think of a right fit leader, what does that mean to you?
I talk to business owners about this every day. It means to me somebody that's going to align with the business owner's personality. They're going to understand, get, and have the same core values and culture that the company already has. And then they're going to get, want, and have the capacity to do the role. So it really has to be all of those things all of the time in order to be a right fit.
And you've been a leader in other companies before. You work with leaders. So we've all made hiring mistakes. Have you ever witnessed or actually made a hiring mistake yourself when you've hired a leader?
I have witnessed hiring mistakes, and usually they're always around not having the culture and the core value piece aligned.
Mm-hmm.
Hiring has not changed for hundreds of years. People post a list of things they want somebody to do, and then somebody gives them a piece of paper saying they can do it. And it's really why I loved your approach and VisionSpark's approach to hiring with science and data and bringing all of that to the hiring process and not just going on gut and feeling, because it's a really hard thing to hire just solely on a feeling. And a lot of times it's not accurate.
Yeah. Our guts are not accurate. We actually mentioned that in a couple of the other previous podcasts. So today we're going to talk about the VisionSpark DNA, which are 6 components on how we evaluate candidates for whether they're a good fit for our clients. So Jennifer, let's talk about those 6 components. And what is the first one that comes to mind when you think of the 6 components?
Definitely first is character. Business owners need somebody that's honest and dependable, that is value driven and has integrity, especially when they're bringing on leaders for the first time, because it can be very difficult for visionaries to let go of the vine or to delegate things the first time around. And it's really important that the leaders they pick align in all those ways so that they can trust that the things they give these leaders to do are going to get done, that they're going to be effectively and honestly communicated to the team, and that it's going to get all the departments rowing in the same direction to help them scale and grow their company.
Yeah, I think character is something even that it's not being evaluated by employers right now. They're evaluating for cultural fit, but they're not truly evaluating for character. And I remember I was interviewing this candidate, and as I was interviewing him, I really felt like he was just telling me what I wanted to hear. And this was for a client actually in your area, Jennifer. So this was a number of years ago. So in the Philly area, about 10 years ago. And I was asking him some questions based on ethics, and he kept on giving me the right answer. And I said, if your employer asked you to do something unethical, would you do it? And he said, yeah, absolutely. If they want me to do it, I will do it. And so I'm like, okay, you just answered that. I know my response. You're not going to be moving on. Yep. So character is huge. What's the next one?
They have to be a fit. So, and that's in a couple different areas. They have to culturally fit the culture that's already there, the work ethic of the team. They have to be compatible with the other team members that are there. And really, they have to be connected to the mission of the organization and the vision that the business owner has. Because if they're not aligned with that vision, then they're not going to be able to do an effective job communicating that and rallying people around that vision on their team and getting everybody rowing in that direction.
Yeah, and I've mentioned this before, but Harvard mentioned that it comes down to one thing in terms of success, and it's not resume, it's not education, it's not industry experience, it's fit.
Yeah.
And so, like the Four Seasons hotels, I mentioned this before, but they ask the team of people interviewing, would you enjoy working with this person? And would they enjoy working with the team? And it really comes down to fit. And that's super, super important. What's the next one?
Well, they have to be competent. So that just means that they have to have the skills they need to do the job. They have to be capable of doing the job, and then just be able to perform that job effectively, reach their goals or their rocks, hit their numbers, whatever it is that they're trying to achieve, their KPIs. They have to have the skills to be able to do that.
Yeah, and so at VisionSpark, Jen, we have the top candidates will go through 5-6 stages of vetting. So for those people listening, how do we actually vet and evaluate someone to see if they're competent?
Yeah. So one way is we have our own patented assessment, the TIP assessment, which stands for Talent Impact Profile. And that assessment helps us to see that they have the skills that are going to be needed for the job that they're applying for. We have different benchmarks. We actually have hundreds of benchmarks based on hundreds of different roles. And we're able to see that the benchmarks for that specific role, how each candidate lines up to that. And then we're able to assess what type of job they would do in that role. Yeah.
And the TIP assessment is one of the few that actually measures mental aptitudes, right? So we actually measure someone's their acuity, their vocabulary, their attention to detail. And we'll talk a little bit about that later. And then our interviews, we actually measure learned behavior, and we have a scripted interviews with the response guide. So our interviewers, our search consultants, know what questions to ask, and they also know what they should be listening for. And so that if it's not on the response guide, they actually don't get that answer correct, and you don't get enough correct, you don't move on in the process. So yeah. All right. What's the fourth one?
So next we have drive. This is really important. They have to be, especially for leaders, they have to be self-motivated. They have to be ambitious and results focused. Some people refer to it as having batteries included, right? Mm-hmm. So you want to have a leader that if they're going to be responsible for holding their team members accountable, they really should be capable of holding themselves accountable. It's really important.
Yeah. And we interview and we say, do they want a job or do they want this job? Right. Yeah. And do they just want their next career move, or do they truly want this job and it'll be long-term? I can't tell you now, it's been a while since I've actually been in the trenches working with clients, but so many times I'm working with clients and they're like, hey, we need someone in their late 30s and early 40s with plenty of runway left. Right. We hear that all the time. And what we have found that oftentimes, if you look at their career progression, they're with the company 2 years, 4 years, and they constantly are moving. And so, the question is, do you want them to have a lot of runway left in their career or with you? And we've actually had, people in their 50s and 60s stay a lot longer and are actually more of a value to that client because they've actually realized that this is what they want to do for the rest of their career. Yeah. And they give that company another 5, 10, 15 years and they are happy. It's their calling. And so when you look at drive, you really need to look at, is it for a job or is it for this company?
Yeah. Yeah. One way even leaders themselves can know if they have it is on Sunday night or Monday morning. Do they have that desire to just jump out of bed and get going? Or are they like dreading the week ahead of them? Right. If they're just ready to go, they have that drive, that excitement to just do the work that they're doing. And they find that work fulfilling, and it makes for a great drive fit.
Yeah. Yeah. When it's in their unique ability, right? If it's part of their passion, they're good at it. and they love the company, they love the culture, they love the mission. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, number 5.
So acuity. So we want to see if they're sharp, insightful, and strategic thinkers. It's really important for visionaries to have strategic thinkers because they are hardwired to be future thinkers and big picture thinkers. And they have to surround themselves by team members that can think strategically. So as they're spitballing these big ideas they have and these visions for their organization for the future, their leadership team members are able to assess what the vision is, figure out, okay, what's my part and my department's part going to play in carrying this vision out and bringing it to fruition. So it's really important that they all can think strategically for the visionary.
And I think more than ever with technology changing, with AI,
Oh, yeah.
it's important that they have those critical thinking and strategic thinking ability, right? So, and I have found in the short time AI has been around is that leaders with a lower mental acuity are very resistant to AI. And leaders who are a little bit higher in mental acuity, and there's a couple other things we look at, they are actually embracing AI. And so I think this is critical for the future. And Jen, we can now vet for AI savviness, right, with our process. So we can actually determine if a candidate is going to be strong in the area of AI. So whether that's through our assessment and through interviewing.
It's awesome.
So
we do.
Yeah. All right. Number 6.
So 6 is just readiness, being able to be adaptable, to be ready for growth and just all the changes that come with growth. Leaders are constantly facing change, and they should be good at figuring out change strategy, right? As changes are coming, how can we strategize this change and present it in the most beneficial way for the other team members so that they can get excited about the change and get on board quickly and get rowing in the right direction.
Yeah. And what part of their experience has prepared them for this job, right? And are they ready? Are they ready to take this on? And such an important part. So if you had to sum it up for a client, why is the VisionSpark DNA such a powerful filter for finding right fit leaders?
It's such a powerful filter because it works. With our blueprint that we have, which is really, it's a proven process that we've done over and over and over again for all types of visionaries all across the country, that has brought them leaders that help fuel the growth of their company and their organization. And we get feedback from our clients all the time, just stating like how this has changed their lives, both professionally and personally, bringing these leaders to the team that really make a difference and are just a really good fit for that specific business owner, for that specific company. And they have the skills to do the job they need them to do. It's really rewarding work that we do.
It's absolutely rewarding. Yeah. I just love hearing from clients that just say my life has changed.
Yeah.
I now have a self-managing company. I have more free time. I'm able to spend more time on my unique ability. My family gets to see me more. It's just rewarding. And then also those candidates that have been longing for that dream job where they can fit with their culture and use their talents and be a part of the company's goals and mission. And so I think little by little, we are help changing the world a little bit.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's exciting to get to be a part of it.
Yeah. So what we work with visionaries and oftentimes, I should say that rarely, or maybe sometimes they decide not to work with us. They decide not to partner with us because they think they could hire better themselves. What would you say to those leaders that want to do the hiring process themselves?
I would ask a question. I would ask, what has the past shown to be true? Have they had the experience in hiring effective leaders in the past? have they been able to do this on their own at other points in the company's history? And if they don't really have that track mark of being able to do that repeatedly over and over again, then they need help. They need a guide. They need science. They need data. They need more than just that gut feeling. And if they want to try it that way one more time, we'll be here ready to help them when they're ready for a guide.
Yeah. Yeah. And visionaries will use CPAs because CPAs know taxes better than they do, right? They'll hire plumbers and electricians, and they'll hire, maybe a fractional CFO and bookkeepers. But when it comes to hiring, they'll try to do it themselves. And I think of that survey Gallup did, that they found that 82% of the time companies fail to choose the right leader. And that's only an 18% success rate. It's not really good batting average. And if you had a CPA that was only 18% successful, it'd be a lot more people in jail, right? For tax evasion so hire experts. And at VisionSpark, they don't have to necessarily work with us for a whole search. We do the whole soup to nuts search where they can literally be hands off. But there's other things that we offer our clients along the way, like maybe they have a couple of candidates already. Jen, share some of this other services that we offer to help them in this journey.
Yeah. So any of the science and data that we use in our internal hiring process for executive searches, we also provide to business owners for their own internal hiring. So the TIP assessment that we talked about, that talent impact profile, we have companies that use that in all of their internal hiring, whether it's for a leader or an entry level position. As I mentioned, we have hundreds of benchmarks for that. If they have a search already going and they've narrowed it down to a few candidates, we can do a right fit profile service where we do a behavioral interview with the individuals. We give them our assessment. So then we compare the data on the assessment with the information we gather during that behavioral interview. And then we compare that to the information that was originally presented in the resume. And that allows us to see if these people are truly who they say they are, and also to assess what type of work they're going to do in the role for the business owner. And then we're able to present that to the visionary in a consultation and let them know, these are your 3 final candidates and this is the differences between them. And then it allows them to use that data and science in their own internal hiring process and feel confident that they're making a good hire. And then the other piece that we offer is creating that compelling marketing piece that's going to draw in the right person. Knowing our 5-step blueprint in and out, I really believe that step 1 is the most important step, because if you get step 1 wrong, which is clearly defining the role, understanding the personality, the drive, the acuity, all the pieces and nuances of this human that you need to do this job, then odds are you're not going to find the right person, because you're not advertising it properly from the beginning, drawing in somebody that would be a good fit. So all 3 of those services we do provide to clients for purchase that they can use in their own internal hiring, and we'll help them understand and learn how to use that internally.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like, with our right fit profile and our TIP assessment, I like to say you'll never say again, that's not the person I interviewed, right? Because so many times you interview someone like, oh, they interviewed so great, and you hire them and you're like, that's not the person I interviewed. And so if you use our tools, you'll know exactly what you're getting. And I think the productivity gain from hiring the right person, you're going to know their strengths, and so you're going to gain productivity, or not hiring the right person or not hiring a wrong person. That cost is, at least 3 times the salary, maybe 15 times the salary, 278 hours of time. You're going to save that. And so it's an investment worth doing. So, anything else that we should share with our clients about hiring for the right fit leader?
No, I think maybe one other thing is that the visionaries that work with us really do enjoy the process. So typically visionaries are not known for creating process and implementing process, and yet they love working with us because we already have that piece already figured out for them. This is the process that's going to work. This is the blueprint you're going to follow. These are the results that you're typically going to get. Our success rates are incredibly high compared to other jobs and industries and companies. We currently have a 98% success rate for placement, and we have a 93% retainment success rate. So to be able to know that the company you're working with can bring you those types of results. And then we also have guarantees in place for that, 2 and 7% that don't fall in those success rates. So we're able to stand behind what we say and really help business owners get what they pay for. And it's an investment that it's 110% worth making.
Yeah, it's maybe more than that, right? 3, 4, 5 times. So yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Jen, thank you so much for your time today. We wish you the best. And if you want to find more information about VisionSpark, you can reach us at visionsparksearch.com. And Jen, how could they reach out to you if they're interested in wanting to talk to you about some of our services?
Yeah, they can reach out through the VisionSpark website. They can contact me through LinkedIn, Jennifer Young at LinkedIn, or email me at jyoung@vision-spark.com.
Great. All right. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah, thank you, Alec. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to Right Fit Leader, brought to you by VisionSpark. Have questions or ready to hire your right fit leader? Email us at discover@vision-spark.com. Until next time, remember VisionSpark is your go-to partner for finding leaders and building teams.